Saturday morning. It's 11 o'clock here, starting a little bit late, but just here to talk about the week, what's been going on, what I've been up to. I just finished John Sonmez's book, both of his books that he has on Amazon, or Audible actually, The Complete Software Developer's Career Guide and Soft Skills. I'll pull them up here. I'm going to do a review actually for this week's video, have it out either Sunday night or Monday morning. It's pretty good stuff, but there's, you know, like any book, there's some stuff that I don't agree with. However, John's much farther along in his career than I am, so it's kind of hard to judge him on that. Maybe just a moment while I pull this up. And while I do that, I just talk about what's how the journey's been. You know, it's always like a quote-unquote grind, but I'm starting to feel pretty good about it. I haven't had an off day yet, so you know, we have those that come up, but no, it's been great. So let's go ahead and see. Let's check out this book here. So this is the Complete Software Developer's Guide. You can buy it here or on Audible. It's definitely cheaper here. But the audio book is, you know, I can do whatever, clean, cook, when I'm in the car. So that's why I do a lot of audiobooks. They're just so much easier to do. Soft skills as well. Let's go ahead and check that out. In just a moment here. So here's soft skills. And it's okay too. This is a book he made before the Complete Software Developer's Career Guide. Both good books to pick up. But some of this is more like general knowledge with a little bit of a software development slant, like exercise and stuff. We should all you know, be healthy and stuff, especially if you're a developer though, because you sit down so much and you're not so active. So definitely something to check out. I see your comment here. I can't read it here in the comment box, but I'll get to it. Give me just a moment here. Abhijit, cool, nice to meet you again. Hey, nice to meet you too. Thanks for coming by. Appreciate it. Let's see. What have you guys been up to? How's it over in your part of the world? I'll leave you a comment too, why not? Jordan, what's going on? I haven't seen you for a minute. Thanks for stopping by. How's the studying going? It's been really busy for this, well, it's only been 15 days in the new year, but it feels like, you know, it's been forever since I've gotten into the new year, and I'm so far behind, but it's just not true. You know, there's just so many things you need to learn and keep on learning. You want to make cool stuff, but it takes a lot of time, and that's kind of where I'm at right now. Let's see. It's cold, bro. Abhijit, where are you at? Here, it's slow. We've been slow, Jordan. Here it's actually warmed up, but warm for this area is might be different from what you guys have. So give me just a moment here. Current temperature for us, I mean, if it's not freezing outside, it's fine. Like here in Idaho Falls, we're at 34 degrees Fahrenheit. For those of you across the pond, that's 1 degree Celsius, so just barely above freezing. So yeah, I'm loving it. It's good weather. You can walk outside without having it be freezing cold. So do you guys have any questions? I mean, that's really what we're here for. Video output is low. Let's go ahead and see what this is all about. Just here to talk, you know, see what's going on, tell you about what's going on with me. Just really busy, just sharpening those skills, the algorithms, of course. That's what we do. Oh, in India. That's right, Abhijit. Let me see if I can fix some of this here. Sorry about that buffering, guys. Jordan says nothing. Alright, let's see here. Let's see what I can do with this. No, it's where it's at. There's a lot of people in here. So I've taken down, I've I've kind of taken the output to be 720p to help improve the live stream. So it's it's less crisp, but I thought, it's better to talk about stuff and have a smoother experience and have it be crispy, creamy, clean. So Jordan says, I'm working on a script to rewrite an RSS feed. Very cool. Abhijit says, I wanted to know if JavaScript is as good for app development as Java. I would say, I don't know, but if you're asking my opinion, Java's been making app development for Android for a long time, right? Kotlin is what everyone wants, but there's going to be more documentation. For app development with JavaScript, the biggest thing that I know is React. So you can use React Native, and you can use JavaScript there. It's newer, so there's not going to be as much documentation. But if you know JavaScript, you want to get into app development, that's probably the path of least resistance. And you're still going to be improving your skills, right? Whether it be in app development, like app design, anything like that. So I would do React Native, but I don't know if it's better. I know, even without seeing, that there's going to be a lot more documentation and resources with Java. So it's kind of weird. Like, you might find what you need, but if you don't know Java, you have to learn a whole new language. If you know JavaScript, you might not find out like the resources, but you're going to know the language. So I personally would go with React Native if you already know JavaScript. Just a moment, guys, sorry. Oh, one thing, I kind of had a lot of viewers kind of just spike up there for a minute. Let's talk about that. I had like 2,209 viewers, subscribers. So it's been great. I like the little boost there. I appreciate it. Hopefully I can keep this channel going. I have to have more like topics. I do like doing the vlogs, and I appreciate you guys watching them. But to get like that search and to gain more traction and gain new viewers, things like comparing the online learning platforms, the React resources, I think are going to go farther. Even though I haven't had too much traction with the React resources, which is a bummer. Hey, what's it? AK47? How you doing? Abhijit says, oh, is it? Jordan says it's negative 19 degrees Celsius here. Yeah, that is cold, man. Jordan, was it in Romania or Canada? Was it in were you from Romania or Canada? I can't remember, man. Abhijit says, what's your opinion on the Electron framework? I don't have an opinion yet, Abhijit. I haven't had any, I've heard of it, but I haven't done anything on it yet. So maybe you could tell us what Electron is, or your experience with it, because I'd really like to know more about it myself, because I just heard that it's great. I heard that it was like replacing something, but of course, like everyone says, everything's replacing stuff. Yeah, AK-47, yeah, that is super cool. Even by Idaho standards, which we say that we get cold here all the time. So, Nicole, nice to talk to you. Starting out with JavaScript, how long will it take to master it? Oh, dude, like that really depends on what you're trying to do with it. But it's kind of like saying, how long is a piece of string, right? It's how long does it take to write a novel? Because really, that's what you're doing. You're using this to make things. So there's a lot of resources out there. I've talked about this in my React Native course, but you're going to want to know your fundamentals. JavaScript: The Good Parts is a great book, and it's free online. Your algorithms, and your ES6, but it takes a while, right? It's not something that happens overnight, and it's a gradual process. So if I were you, I would use that. Oh, AK-47, I want to talk about PHP. Give me just a moment here. Yeah. Nicole says, starting out with JavaScript, how long will it take? Oh, we already read that. Abhijit says, it's basically for desktop app development using JavaScript. That's cool, man. I prefer web development and mobile development. I see those as the quote-unquote future. It's going to be really niche for desktop. It's not too hot right now, but, you know, if you're going to get into something special, try it out. AK-47 says, what's your view on PHP? It's not a design language. It's like a utility language. I would say there's a lot of places still using it, and going to continue to use it with PHP 7. it's great. I mean, to look into because it's been around for a long time, right? So there's a lot of stuff, and the new PHP is supposed to be better, more fantastical, faster. So it's not bad at all. But if you don't need to use it yet, I would stick to JavaScript and then learn Node.js. It's the concepts that matter, right? So if you're learning like, excuse me, if you're learning a back-end programming language, I would do Node.js or JavaScript. But ultimately, it just depends on what you want to learn. So if you really want to learn PHP, learn PHP to go with your JavaScript. It's just going to be harder to the cognitive switching. You're going to get stronger at JavaScript if you do Node.js, but you still have to be on those concepts. And then when you want to switch over to PHP or some other back-end language, you're going to be able to do it a lot easier because you are focusing on the concepts of back-end web development and the language itself. So, Jordan says it was negative 45 Celsius yesterday. Jordan's like living in the South Pole over there. So, would it be good for newbies to get in the field? Yeah, but HTML, CSS, JavaScript, you're going to want to get that first, so you can display something to the web. Hey, thanks Abhijit for the MERN resources. Appreciate that. Yeah, that was great stuff. Learning MERN, so appreciate that. Jordan says Slack, Atom, and I believe VS Code is written in Electron. Didn't know that. Now I do. I knew that it was written like with Node.js with VS Code, but that's cool stuff. Virtual Studio Code, if you guys don't know, is my favorite editor, my only editor now, and it's free, so you should get it. So yeah, definitely do that. Hey, sorry guys, sorry about that. But yeah, I would look into Electron. Where were we? I think I was just answering some questions right now. What do you guys think? Should I share this to the Facebook group I'm part of? I think so. Let's go ahead and do that. It's always great because I get new subscribers, or excuse me, I get new people in here when I post my live video to the Programmers Network, and we get new opinions and stuff. DHRUV, I'm just going to call you Sharma. Sorry. Sharma, first of all, thank you so much for the sparing such a cool live session online. Oh yeah, my pleasure. I try to do these like at least once a week. I've had some struggles the past few weeks, but it looks like we're getting, I've got it figured out now. Oh man, that was hard. Sharma says, I don't feel like working on web development nowadays, while I was previously dreamed about working on web projects. What would it require to get me back on track? There's a Facebook group, not for me, it's AK47, it's not my Facebook group, but a Facebook group I'm part of, like self-taught programmers or something, and I always share that. You know what, I'll share this group with you guys. You have to be like, I'm not an admin, so I can't add you, but let me go ahead and pull this up here. Let's see, I just want to close some of these things, you know, so I don't expose all my personal stuff here. Sorry about that, guys. Someone asked a question. Let me try to answer that while I do this. Oh, so you don't feel like working on web projects. If you have like a solid foundation and you're trying to get back into web development, focus on your basics, your CSS, your HTML, JavaScript. If you need a project, yeah, do that by all means. But if you're just trying to get into it, just focus on your programming languages and you know, just little things like the syntax and making small things, like maybe like a cover. Don't try some huge project. So yeah, that's what I would do. But let me go ahead and share this with you. I try my best, but here it is, a self-taught programmer group. It's pretty good. Sometimes there's, you know, it's an open group, so sometimes there's things there that you might not agree with, or there might be some weird questions or something, you know, because it's for everyone. So just keep that in mind. There's some really thoughtful things out there, and sometimes not so many. So yeah, here we go. Let me go ahead and share this. I think I'm still sharing my screen, and I got off here. Sorry, guys. So yeah, this is where I would go. Check it out. and I'll just share this with them and see if we can't get some questions and stuff. Like I say, every live stream, it's always a struggle to like keep talking, fill in the void, and do something else as well. So I appreciate your patience with me. Come talk web development with us. Yeah, that's what I want. And if you're asking some questions, I'll get right to them. I don't see them on screen right now. I'll come back to them. Okay. The name, Ricky, the name Butcher. Yes, Corey, of course. Abhijit Wani. Druv is spelled Druov. For real. For real, that's so true. I hate it because I try to do all these names and so like people know what I'm reading. So as Corey Mikaboy says, yeah, I do have a hard time with all these names, so appreciate you sticking with me. It'll be fine. Just pursue front-end web development in India. I will be able to earn a good living by that. Sharma, I don't live in India. I know that like programming in general is all the rage in India, but because I don't live there, I can't tell you for sure. I don't have enough contacts to really have a grasp on it, but a lot of people are from India that do programming. Web development, I'm not so sure. So yeah, Jordan says, that's what I'm doing, the RSS feed writer. Yeah, something like that, for sure. A project. I am too thorough. I feel like I'm too thorough. I really want to study and know my stuff before I do something, and sometimes that gets me into trouble, but sometimes it's just a kick in the pants I need. Like, I've said this over and over, but learning React. I learned that, hey, you know what? I know JavaScript, I know jQuery, but not as deep as I thought so. So definitely do that. Adrian asked on Facebook, so in the Facebook groups, Adrian asks, what do I use for live stream? OBS? And I'm just going to say yes. In case you guys are wondering, OBS is free. It's not the best, but it's great. So, you know, for free it's great, and I use it all the time. Would I get a paid service? Maybe, but I have just so many programs to learn and stuff that this is doing it for right now. Front end seems boring as F, the ninja says. It depends on what type of person you are, really. You know, if you like design, seeing the end result, and you can like see the results on the front end, like the statistics, then it can be really, really interesting. At least to me, that's the type of person. But back end is the same. But when you put full stack and put the whole thing in, that's when you feel like super powerful, right? Because you can do it all. So yeah, Ninja Indians are really, you know, a core to this community, to programming and development and stuff. So yes, they are everywhere, but in a good way, just like anything else. So we do. We really do need as many programmers as possible, and if they come from India and they're great, that's what matters. Doesn't matter where you're from, especially where it's like a global network. Some of the best instructors actually that I've had, or some of the best courses, or like YouTube videos and things like that, have been Indian instructors. Some of the worst have been Indian instructors, but some of the worst I've had are, you know, South Korean, American. It really depends on the individual, their mastery on not just the programming language, but the English language for me. Corey says, what part of India are you guys from? Corey, I'm from, first of all, I want you to know I'm from America. So get it straight. Let us know in the comments, guys, what parts of India you're from. Ninja, I'm going to ask Ninja, why does front-end development, or anyone really, why does front-end web development seem boring to you? I'd like to know your thoughts and why that is. And it's not accusatory or anything. I'm genuinely curious why some people would think that, and have a discussion. Just going to check out this here. How close to real time would you say you get with live streaming working? So in the Facebook questions, I have Adrian here asking like how close I can get real time OBS, and so I actually set a buffer now, and So for the buffer, what I did was I put a little bit of a buffer there, so in case like I have a hiccup, it kind of gives me that extra space, so it's not real time all the time, so it has smoother playback, and that's just something I recently did. So Bardo Riguez 8 says, if you hate CSS, does that mean that web development is not for you? Bardo, that is not true. I'll get to it in a moment. I'm not the creative type. The Ninja says, designing things seems hard. Well, I mean, it depends, Ninja. I think designing things is actually easier. Granted, it's much harder in web development than like any other medium than programmatic, but now it's kind of like, they're kind of like this for me, because I've been doing more of the programming side. So design is really easy, and I studied it really hard, and then this is here, just like what you practice. You can learn it if you want, but that's the thing, is like if you want. It really depends on what you want to do. Like with my projects and products, I want them to be great, and I want them to have a great user experience. So that's why I do that. What was it? Bardo Rodriguez, if you hate CSS, does that mean that web development is not for you? No. There are other things you can do other than web development, or excuse me, CSS. You should know it, but there's back-end development, you know, there's those algorithms. Sometimes you'll get a design and you just have to do it, but then you still need to know CSS. It's something you just have to work with, just like JavaScript. You know, I used to say, oh, I hate JavaScript, but it's part of the package. And like an arranged marriage, you'll learn to love me. Okay, that's a little bit dark, but you'll learn to love it because it's part of the package. Dhruv Sharma says, Mata Prish, I think that's where he's from. Now, what specs will you need on a laptop or PC to easily, swiftly work on the web development? Should I buy a gaming laptop? Sharma, I bought one, but you don't need one. Even at work, I used a pretty crappy one for a while. And then I got an upgrade, which is amazing. But you just need like a decent, go a little bit above consumer, but you don't need a gaming laptop. If you're going to do some like some actual designing in like Photoshop and stuff, and you plan on doing that, yes, absolutely invest in a nice laptop. Not the high end, but get a PC with some good like specs. I would suggest an SSD or solid state drive, at least 16 gigabytes worth of memory, and then a graphics card, like an NVIDIA graphics card. Just make sure it's the right one. Abhijit says, front end seems fine, but no need for any brainstorming sessions, I guess. Ha 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 ha. Abhijit, that is definitely false, dude. You know, I'll let you know in a minute. Great to see so many fellow Indians learning web development. I bought a high-performance MSI laptop. It's powerful, but the battery only lasts 2 hours. Yeah, dude, like this laptop that I have is the battery is the same, like 2 hours. It's atrocious. So keep that in mind, battery power. JavaScript is actually fine. It actually makes sense. It's just the CSS that makes you want to vomit. Yeah, learn your Google developer tools and how to like edit classes and CSS in there. So I'll just hit, let me go ahead and pull up my screen here. So if we hit this, you want to learn how to do this, size your browser, go through all the divs, and add classes here like background red, and do it on the fly. And that's going to help you move through things a lot faster and solve those problems and see how it works. I know, because there's not a console or something to do that, but if you do that, it's going to help you so much. Abhijit says there's no need for any brainstorming sessions. Dude, like, you are going to have to think about like how things are going to be displayed, what's the optimal way to do this, how it's going to affect the user, how you want something to look depending on the view, those things. So you really do have to think about this all the way through. It's less programmatic and more aesthetic, but there are things like that, especially like if you're rendering something like with React, you'll have to do that as well. So definitely think about that, because a lot of the front end is now getting kind of mixed in with some of that stuff. It's more programmatic. Rodriguez says, have you looked into Android development at all? Yes, I have. I want to do React Native. Working through this React portfolio, and then I'm going to go to React Native just because it's so, I mean, why not? You know, you have JavaScript, you have React, you have an Android phone. You should check it out. I think it would be so fun. So not necessarily dead set on web development, but more like development with JavaScript and web development. But I really want web development. You know, you want to specialize, and even if you specialize in web development, it's still like a super broad topic. So yeah, I just think it's easier to move into mobile development with your JavaScript and web development as well. Sharma says, why are laptops and PCs so costly here? I mean, $500 laptop, which should be around 35,000 rupees, actually costs around 60K. I don't know, man. It's probably because they have to import it, I guess. I don't know, Sharma. Get a desktop then. It's going to be cheaper. And it might suck, but if that's what you need to do, yeah. Corey's doing React Native now, so he highly recommends it. I've been doing JavaScript in general and React. So learning about higher order components and creating those and how the third parties are made using those, pushing an array, pulling an array, split pop, higher order functions, with some other things that I'm really focusing hard on. So all the array methods, creating a hash table and using that hash table to filter through, or big O of n squared, how those things affect the code and what to look out for. Those are things I'm really focusing on hard. Bro, India, AK47 says, bro, in India all the tech equipment is expensive. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to tell you guys other than that sucks. Someone with some more insight in that, let us know why it's so expensive there. Would love to know why that's so. One thing I should say, guys, is it does take a lot of time to learn like web development. If you're looking at a holistic view, there's design, there's UX, there's back-end development, there is front-end development, there's React, you know, all these different things. So what I've learned looking at the past year is, yes, we want to build cool things, right? It's the coolest thing to build cool things, and that's what people really quote-unquote care about. But if you're going to become a professional or really deep and be able to do these things, you're going to want to focus on your fundamentals. You're going to want to focus on your JavaScript basics, your HTML basics, your CSS, routing and stuff. And so make these cool things, but when you hit a roadblock or you finish a project, dig just a little bit deeper beyond the surface, and that's going to carry you farther than learning a whole bunch of stacks, which is what I did, which is unfortunate, but you still needed something, right? Angular or React and stuff. So AK47 says, what is the best resources to learn React.js? I won't tell you here, but I did a video on it. So after this live stream, check out that video because I did a whole thing on React resources. Corey says, Udacity courses are cheaper in India. Yeah, AK47 says, didn't know that, man. Well, now you know. Jordan says, I'm writing my script in PHP due to the fact that my client's site is on PHP. Exactly. You see, it's more about the problems that you can solve than the languages that you have. And I would do that too. I'd learn PHP, go all the way in and learn as much of it as I could. Because PHP is still used a lot, and that's in legacy code too. So it's not a bad thing. And you're going to learn more about your main language, or both languages, you know, just by seeing the differences of another language. Corey says, convert rupees to dollars, typically priced at 60 to 70% of US price. That's good. Sharma says, for which company do you presently work? Can you reveal how much you earn? Sharma, I'm going to not do that. I'm sure you could find it if you wanted to, but it's not so much that I'm not comfortable with it on a personal level, but on the professional level, I don't want to, you know, ruffle any feathers at work or anything like that. So sorry, I can't really tell you that. WordPress is all PHP, exactly, and WordPress powers the majority of the web. So will that change? Yeah, but it's not going to be overnight, and those things are going to be in there for a long time. Facebook uses PHP, right? So PHP is here to stay, at least for now, at least for a while, right? I mean, even Cobalt is around, so yeah. Corey's got my back. Thanks, Corey. Let's go ahead and go over to the Facebook group and see what people are talking about. Oh, just shout out to Adrian there, liking my posts. So yeah, what other things? Hey, what's trending right now Do you guys have any things trending specifically to web development, not to YouTube? You know what I'm talking about. So what's trending on that you guys have heard, like the news in web development or development in general? Any of the programming languages? Bardo Rodriguez says, "Is your employer aware of your channel? I'm just thinking of other channels where it's obvious that the employer knows about it. I would be super paranoid." My employer does know about it. Part of the reason how I got my job was actually in the marketing department, and they read my blogs. They saw some of my videos. So absolutely, you know, you want to be open and stuff, but you got to be careful. It just shows that you're really into this. I'm in it to win it. You know, I'm here all the time. Yeah. I want to be a professional. I want to get as good as possible, and yeah, absolutely. All I hear is Python everywhere. Yeah, I've heard Python because it's super easy to learn, and I don't know that from experience, but that's what I've heard. It's an eloquent language. You can learn it really fast and focus on like data science, so the actual like algorithms and stuff everywhere. So I've heard PHP too is really everywhere, but more for data scientists and developers. You got a Udacity stuff? Sweet, Dassy. I saw those popping up all over the Facebook group. I was like, dang, I should do that, but nah, you guys need it, you know. if you haven't gone through a Udacity program, it's like I don't really deserve one of those after I went through a couple of them. Sharma says, will AI affect web development industry jobs? Probably, but you know, there's always going to be jobs that you need to replace that with. Will there be less? Maybe, but I can't affect that, right? I can't affect that, and no one knows really so much right now. So do the best you can to learn your programming and stuff, and then you're going to have to pivot maybe in the future. But just have that in your mind. You're going to get really good at this, and then you're going to try to convert that experience to something else. I mean, the way I think about it is, before this, I had a degree in economics, right? And I went to banking, and it wasn't working out for me. So I had to make a decision, like, what am I going to do? Am I going to get a master's? Well, this didn't work out for me. I'm going to radically switch and try to take anything that I can and funnel it into web development. You might have to do that again, but if you're in like the development world, the programming world, it's going to be much easier than doing something like that. Corey says there's this thing called React XP. It's supposed to use a React cross-platform and allows you to build React Web and native in the same code. That's crazy. I haven't heard of it. I should check that out because it sounds cool. AK-47 got a scholarship at Web as well. Man, they're handing these things out left and right, which is good. We need more developers. So, yeah. Sharma, what's my age? What do you think? No, last time I did that, last time I said, what do you think my age is? Someone told me, like, I don't know, like 45 years old. It was you, Jordan. I remember. I'm 29. So, yeah, I'm 29, and I've been, hey, Bassy, I've been doing web development, or really studying it since like 27. I think I got into it maybe at the end of 26, but yeah, it's, you can do it. You really have to be dedicated and really want to do this. It's not just like I want to make a ton of money, and you could, but you have to be passionate about it, because it's not it takes a long time, whether you go to school or not. It takes a lot of passion, and it's amazing. So yeah, let's see here. ES6 is similar to Python. That's good to know, Bassy. I didn't know that. So if you guys are wondering, ES6 is similar to Python. And I love ES6. ES6 is awesome. You can use TypeScript and stuff to get like even more features. So think about that, but really learn that ES6 if you're doing web development. Let's see here. Sorry about the lull there, guys. I had a senior moment, as you would say, like, you know, on the sitcom Silicon Valley, which is returning pretty soon. They have like this scene with the Carver is what they call him, like a young 15-year-old kid, and they meet with the main character who's like a tech, tech startup, and the young 15-year-old kid asks the main character, like, how old are you? And he says, how old are you? Like 25? He's like 26. And he looks at him like he's really old. So, you know, those videos or those Silicon Valley types make you feel like, oh, I'm 29 years old, I'm old. But that's not true. It's about your skills. So really hone in on those skills. Sharma says, I'm a college student pursuing bachelor's in computer science engineering. Sweet. And I have made a social networking website for my college. Would you have a look? Sharma, maybe. Let me go ahead and answer a few questions first, and remind me in about 5 minutes. And if so, then I can definitely take a look at it. So, do you use Vue? Bassie says, no. At work I use JavaScript, or excuse me, jQuery mostly. But React is what I'm all about. Choose one, stick with it. I chose React because it's unlike Angular, it was used heavily by Facebook in their production code, so they really stick by it, and you can learn more about JavaScript. It's not like as opinionated, but you know, they have a lot of dependencies to make it work right. So that's why I chose JavaScript. Vue.js, it was just something that was newer and wasn't as well known, so I couldn't find any reason to really justify learning it. Yeah, Ninja says, why not show it to all of us? That's a good point, Ninja. If you want to put it in the comments, you just can't put like the actual like website. So you put like something like www dot, like space, the word dot. You can do that if you guys want to take a look at that site. I haven't asked so far, but what do you guys think of some of the newer content that's coming out on the channel? Do you prefer the old content when it was like a vlog, or do you like the newer content and stuff? And if you've already answered, you know, I get it, and I appreciate you sticking with me, but what do you guys think of some of the new content on the channel? Oh, you know when you look at someone and they're waving, but they're not waving to you? Yeah, I just did one of these to someone I didn't know, only to find out they weren't waving to me. No questions, no questions. I will say this, for whatever reason, like last week with some of the content, I had like an older video, like HTML versus WordPress that I did, and it just blew up in France and America for whatever reason for a little bit. That was kind of interesting, but it kind of elevated the whole channel, which was really nice. So one of the goals that I had was to get over 1,000 views within a 24-hour period and 100 views within an hour period, and I kind of smashed through that. So it was a nice way to start off the new year. It was older content, but that's how it works sometimes. Like this old content is, it takes a while. It sleeps, and then it really picks up speed. Oh, AK-47 says, yeah. Oh wait, sorry, you got a whole bunch of questions all at the same time. Sure, put up the link, man. Abhijit says, Ricky, do you have a day job or a freelancer? Abhijit, I have a day job. I am very selective about my freelance work. I choose who to work with, when to work with them. It has to be a project that I really like and I can gain some new skills. I'm not using it for money, but rather to gain skills. So usually when I do something, it's very low priced, and it's something that I want to do, and it's something that I believe in. AK-47 says, yeah, it happened to me all the time, especially when women wave at me, only to find out it wasn't me. That's funny, AK-47, yeah, it's just an older couple. Yeah, hey. Sharma says, all your content is fab. Thanks, appreciate it. Will data structures be any use for me in the future as a web developer? Yes. I would practice mostly to get started though, rather than getting really deep. Data structures and algorithms. So like if you're looking for a job or something, focus on those first, because you'll have them down and you'll be able to get that entry-level job. And then if you want to go even deeper, then look at that. But look at the Stephen Greider has a course. You can look on GitHub. There's a ton of like different things. Hacker Rank, you can do some stuff on there too. And if you don't get it, just get the algorithms themselves. And then when you get the algorithms, go through it line by line until you understand what's going on. Console log everywhere. and then like what I'm doing is like writing it from scratch. So taking those solutions, and they're really long solutions sometimes, like 50 lines of code. But if I can write it down from scratch, it might be quote unquote copying, but I understand what's going on. I can speak the language, and there's no way like I could remember 50 lines of code like from scratch, like each character. You just remember the concepts and you write them down. You know what's going on. So it's going to improve your JavaScript a ton. Let's see here. In this current age, if you don't keep up, you'll be left out. Technology is changing so fast, but web development is kind of settling down. What do you think? I think the opposite, but I don't know, because I've only been in web development. It is super fast. There's React, there's Vue, there's Angular, ES6. JavaScript changes all the time. New features are being supported by CSS, like the grid, CSS grid. SOAP, REST. There's a bunch of different things going on. PHP 7 just got done. So it's changing all the time. There's a bunch of databases now. MySQL. MySQL is great because it's been around forever. MongoDB, which is what I know, and there's a slew of other ones like Postgre. That's one. Thanks, Sharma. I hope that helps. If anyone has any other like suggestions for Sharma, let him know. Or if I'm steering him down the wrong road, let me know. But that's what I would do. So yeah, it doesn't really matter what your age is. You just have to be in it. You could have gotten into like web development at age 21, and you're my age, 29. But if you've been stagnant, yeah, you're going to be left out for sure. AK47 says Maria Davis. Yeah, Postgres. Postgres is one that I've heard a lot about. Postgres, MySQL, and MongoDB are the main ones that I hear about all the time. Not saying that they're the main databases, but just what I see all the time. And it's really important just to learn one if you're going to do if you want to do full stack. Even if you don't, you should have what John Sonmez calls like a T-shape, knowledge base. So think of like an inverted T where we have all this general knowledge and then our specialty. So general knowledge, have a wide breadth of knowledge, and then what you're doing, like say front end, and you use that knowledge that you have to make your specialty even better. So definitely learn at least like a little bit about databases. MySQL would be a great one to start with, and then how they work and how they pull data and stuff. Sharma says, so should we learn all of these or only which ones which are created later on? It depends, man. Like just getting started with one is great. Take something that you can feel comfortable learning, whether it be the syntax or like the what's being offered in the field, and go with it and really learn the concepts, which is the most important thing. How the database is working, how it's being called from the front end to the back end, and how the back end is using it. So if you learn just something else, you're going to be able to transition because you're learning more syntax, right, than actual concepts about databases and how they hold things and things like that, and how they call things up, and a shard or how they store the data, how you can scale vertically or horizontally with your databases and stuff. Those are the things that really matter, and then you can switch. There might be a few things that are harder to get, but it's not going to be like learning from scratch. You can switch much easier rather than just like, oh, I only do front end, so I'm not going to learn about the back end, or I'm not going to learn about the server or the database. Been about 43 minutes. This has been a good long live stream, and the signal's been strong. So hopefully that hopefully you notice it's made a difference. Anyone else have any questions? Let me know. Abassi says, learn the basics of JavaScript really well, and learning the libraries and frameworks will be less difficult. Yes. Can't stress it enough. Learn from my mistakes. In the book Software Developers Career Guide, John Sonmez talks about algorithms and stuff. So this was after I learned the hard way, and so I read that book and I was like, yep, Wish I would have done that. So definitely listen to what he's talking about. Abhijit says, is using Bootstrap okay to use? Yes, it's fine. It's been tested. You know, there's structure there. It's going to be harder to customize. If you know like the Flexbox, you can use CSS to do everything. But if you're just trying to get your feet wet, CSS or Bootstrap is pretty good. You know, you're going to learn about classes, switching them out, about the CSS, and you can override the CSS rather than building everything from scratch. Good CSS practices and stuff like that. So yeah, it's fine. But don't rely on it all the time. You're going to have to learn your CSS. Yeah, I know a lot of people are discouraging it, but if you just want to get started displaying something through the web that looks nice, start doing it. But yeah, the thing is that Bootstrap is not as helpful as it was before. The main thing was grid. So doing grids, you'd have to use like margins and floats, and it was really kind of like hard to make it work right. Floats, clears. Now with the Flexbox being supported widely, that's most of Bootstrap isn't needed. But yeah, get something off the ground. It takes a long time to learn, but you can see like best practices if you really dig in there and see the classes and stuff. Sharma says, what time is it there? Because in India, it's around 12:20 here, like AM. Which place are you streaming from? I am in Idaho. It is 11:51 AM. Like almost literally like completely on the other side of the world. So I'm just in my favorite coffee shop, which is the Villa. And that's where I'm streaming from. So there are great themes for Bootstrap. Yeah, I've heard that too, Jordan. I usually just use the plain old Bootstrap and then customize it heavily to my liking. So that's what I've been doing, but now I can build it from scratch. So I don't really need to do that. So I don't. Thus I don't. If I need to get like a project off the ground running fast, then yeah, Bootstrap. But after that, you can really think it out and stuff, and just make it from CSS. You won't have all that bloat from the extra code that you have there. So something to think about. That's why a lot of people don't use jQuery anymore. They just use straight React, and then it's all a ton of dependencies. But Bootstrap is definitely adds more bloat than you need, and it makes an extra request and all that stuff, all that fun stuff. Look at Adamant. Another one that I've seen and I've used in tutorials is like minimize, or what is it, materialize CSS. So materialize is something that you might want to look at too, but I guess if you're going to learn one, learn Bootstrap, because a lot of jobs require that or request that. So definitely learn Bootstrap if you're going to learn one like CSS framework. Sharma says, are there even vaccines in web development jobs? Oh, vacancies. I'm sorry. I was like, what? Are there even vacancies in web development jobs? Since the competition is ever increasing, will I be able to land a job? I mean, that's up to you, man. Really. It's up to you what you, if you want to get into that, but it is harder, right? Everything's getting harder, but yeah, I would keep on going. If you're in college right now, you're getting a computer engineering degree. As long as you're doing a little bit on the side, you should be able to land one, but should is the key word there. I'm not going to say you will, but as long as you're studying on the side and doing your computer engineering degree, you're going to have a really strong foundation. The other thing though, Sharma, like for people like me, it's much harder to get in, like in the US or anywhere. Even though there are a lot of jobs, you have to prove yourself, because my background was in economics. So I have to really do a lot of extra work and really push hard to get this and make up for a lot of ground that I lost because I didn't have that basic foundation. So I am a professional, and I got to make sure to make that up. Data structures, algorithms, you know, how the web works and stuff. All those things, like even like the history of the web, just knowing your stuff, right? So being a professional, just because I didn't go to college doesn't mean I should miss out on these topics. So we have about 10 minutes here. If you do have like a burning question, let me know. Otherwise, at around the 1 hour mark, I'm going to call it quits on this live stream and get the rest of my day started to do more React, because I got to get that portfolio started, but I'm just digging into my React and doing my algorithms. Really want to know my stuff before I start teaching or like showing how I did these things. I know it's like everyone says like just get up and do it, just get up and do it. But where I'm doing a live stream and I have an audience, I do feel more accountable to you guys than rather just digging in and doing it right away and sharing it. Versus like, you know, little tiny projects here with React in there, I'll do them on my own. But when I'm going to share something, it needs to be right? So it's not that I'm not working on it. That's my main focus right now. It's just getting on that React, learning about everything, you know, tightening down the loose ends, tightening down, you know, that knowledge that's kind of loose there, higher order components, dumb components for smart components, and so, or rather containers. So, okay, Sharma's sad. Hey man, it's like what? Isn't it midnight there? Come on, man. Do I ever stream from home? Jordan says. I have tried, Jordan. I have tried to stream from home, but in my area, in Idaho in general, but specifically in my area, I have two providers. Cable One, but they have limits, right? So they have limits on how much data you have. It's like a phone. Like there's a data plan. So there's like 300 and 600, and even with like the 600 plan, I would blow through that, and so it's I'd get overages, even though it's quote unquote fast. And then what I have is CenturyLink, which is really slow, so I can't really stream from there. So that's why I stream here. Plus, it's kind of become a habit. You know, it's kind of like a ritual. We come here and do these things, but yeah, that's what I do. So sorry about that. Had to get something out of the way there. So that's what I would do. That's not what I would do. That's what I do. I'm losing it, guys. I'm losing it. The businesses here are a little bit faster, so I would like to stream from home. Maybe I will, you know. But no, I would have already upgraded, but the speeds are just not here. Kind of ironic. It's kind of funny though because there's not so many people here. I have more of a more weight because it's not something that's done a lot in this area. So any other questions? Has anyone ever thought about like doing a blog or anything like that? Jordan, I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous. I want that fiber, that Google fiber. I heard it's supposed to be fast. It would be perfect for me. I would never leave that house. If I had Google fiber, I would go to work and home, and that's it. So Sharma says, what else do you love apart from web development? I mean, if you have another hobby like watching anime, music, art, etc., or is it okay to have along with engineering? So I really like design, but I all of my hobbies and stuff I've really chosen selectively. Minus, you know, you want to watch something. I watch a lot of YouTube because I'm on YouTube. But my hobbies are very selective, and they're not quote unquote hobbies. They're more like they feed into web development. So learning about design, learning about copywriting, learning about marketing, learning about social media, video production. Those are the main things, and I funnel them all into web development and how they work. So that's pretty much what my hobbies are. My hobbies and what I do for work are the same. Sometimes I cook. I like to cook, but that's kind of like what you have to do anyway. So, what is a vlog? Sharma says. Oh, Bassy, thanks. He says, thanks so much, Garcia. I know your time is very limited, but you make time to help others. Thanks, I appreciate that. I try my best. A vlog is a video blog. That's all it is. So you update people on something, like say you're learning something, you talk about it. And that's what I did with the React Now degree. It was unfortunate, but hopefully it gave people enough insight to the program and like the issues that I had and how they could avoid them and have success in the program themselves. Anything else? I'm ready to... Oh, Jordan says, I'm the same way with my hobbies. Yeah, once you get selective, you can see a ton of growth. If you are very selective with your hobbies and they feed into your passion or your job, you're going to see a lot more success. I did used to watch anime a lot more when I was a kid, Sometimes I'll watch like Dragon Ball Super, but not all the way through or anything like that. But I do like it. Death Note, of course, but you know, all the very generic animes. So yeah, I used to watch them. Not as much anymore. With music, I guess, Sharma. Yeah. With music, I listen to a lot of jazz, hip hop, future funk. What else do I listen to? Future funk, jazz, hip hop, like chill hop, chill wave. Things that are really easy to listen to when you're coding or doing design or anything like that. Video game music, a ton of video game music. You haven't noticed from my videos. Sometimes you'll be like, hey, I remember that soundtrack is from this game, and totally use it all the time. Tellenberg, Jordan says, oh, we already talked about that with hobbies. All right, so what do we got planned for the rest of the day? React.js with Maximilian's course. I shared that in the React.js resources. Yeah. Buy some clothes and shoes. You know, all the things you do on the weekend. Do some cleaning, you know, the very unglamorous stuff in code. Not as hip as I like to pretend to be. So, you know, I have regular life things to do as well. So I'm in tech and focused on networking. Yeah, that's a great thing to do too. Network all the time. Sharma says, Jordan, my man, you took the words right out of my mouth. Thank you very much, Garcia. I know your time is very limited, but you make time to help others. Yeah. You can call me Garcia if you want, or Ricky. Ricky is my first name. My actual first name, though, in case you didn't know, is Richard. But no one calls me that, so just call me Ricky. All right. Well, I think we're going to call it quits here, unless you guys have any last-minute questions, and I'll get my day started. So I'll hang out for about a minute here and wait for some questions to come in. Oh, Icaro asks, what are you working on? My React.js portfolio, but really tightening down all the loose ends with React and basic JavaScript before I go ahead and put this thing live, because I hold myself to a higher standard now that I have more subscribers, and I'm going to show you how to do things, so that's why. Sharma says, DB Super is love. I am also in gaming and music too. Where are you up till now, man? Well, I don't know. I just keep in... No, I just follow like the quote-unquote news as far as DB Super goes. It's not really something I have time to watch all the way through. But, you know, oh yeah, well, this guy beats that guy. Like, I don't want to get to... Jiren, you know, gets his ass kicked by Vegeta. That was cool. Finally, you know, I hate how he's always in, you know, playing second fiddle. So I'm glad to see him get his get some screen time that he deserves. Sharma says, what is the deadline for that project? I have not set a deadline. I should. I will after I'm done with this course from Maximilian. It's like 33 hours, and I'm a quarter of the way done. So I've got to really push it up. But I do some coding every single day, whether it be React or JavaScript. And outside of work is what I mean. Some sort of coding outside of work every single day, even when I don't want to. Like yesterday, I was feeling horrible. Really sick. I still do feel a little bit sick, but I still took like 2 hours and coded it up. Sharma says, thanks, you're truly the best. Hey man, appreciate it. Thanks for watching. And look out for that review on John Sonmez's Complete Software Developers Guide audiobook. I'm gonna get that up either Sunday night or Monday. So let you know what I think about it. All right, guys. Well, that's it. I'll stay around for a little bit in the comments to answer some last-minute questions, and talk to you later.